Dipansh, what is the passcode of this meeting?
Sorry, sir. So,
Yes, Dipansh.
yes, sir.
What is the passcode of this meeting?
Passport of this meeting. So I do not know. I'll let you know in a minute.
You can wait or call it.
I got it, Dipansh.
Five now. Can I start with
Yes, I think we can start.
good evening to one and all present here?
1 second. I'm just having voice नहीं आ रहा है. 1 second. Do you speak something?
Yes, sir.
It's not very audible. Is it audible for all the others? Or is
No,
it
sir,
feeble?
it's not audible.
Dipansh, you can speak without the earphones.
Am I audible now?
Yes, very well.
Okay, thank you. So, am I audible perfectly then? Good evening to one and all present here. On behalf of Thomas and George Associates, I welcome you all to the quarterfinal round of the second National Virtual Moot Court Competition. My name is Dipansh Gupta and I will be the court master of this courtroom. To conduct the proceedings of this round, we have among us admirable advocate, Mr. Manav Jaisal Thomas is the honorable judge. Though Manav sir needs no introduction, but I cannot resist my urge to say a line or two about him. He is a partner at Thomas George Associates and has been handling litigation matters before the big forums, including High Court of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, district courts and other statutory tribunals and quasi forums. Over a short span of only 2 years, he has received accolades from honorable judges for well-researched presentation of cases. Sir, we are privileged to have you here. Now coming on to the rules for this
Thank you,
round.
Dipansh.
No problem, sir. Now coming on to the rules for this round. Firstly, each speaker has a time of 15 minutes. Secondly, the first speaker can yield their remaining time to the second speaker after they're done. And extra time may only be granted upon the discretion of judges. Thirdly, judges on their discretion are free to give the feedback after both the teams are done with their oral rounds. Fourthly, rebuttals and surrebuttals consist of a minute each, which may be extended upon the discretion of the judges. Lastly, all the speakers are requested to keep their videos on at all times and unmute only when permitted to speak. Any exceptional problems regarding the video connectivity or internet connection may be reported to me. Without taking any further more time, I invite the counsel for the petitioner to commence this now.
Yes, petitioner speaker 1.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Your Lordship, I am Om Shri Shukla, and I appear here on behalf of the petitioners with my co-counsel, Mr. Adarsh Kumar. The counsel would like to ask Your Lordship whether he wants to be briefed about the case at hand, or should the counsel move on with the issues.
No, you please move on to your issues.
So, as it's known, there are 4 main issues in this case. The first being whether the Hindu Marriage Act and the Special Marriage Act can be read in a manner to include the LGBTQA community. The second issue being whether the said community should be bestowed upon with the civil rights. The third issue being whether the tradition, culture, and ethos of a society are as exhaustive as law. And the fourth being whether the people belonging to the said community should be allowed to marry as per their religion. Before I start with issue 1, I would like Your Lordship to kindly refer to the page 76 of the compendium submitted.
I've not received a compendium from your team. Timekeeper, please stop the time. There are 2 rounds, so I'm not sure whether it's the compendium of your round. 1 second. This is Adarsh Kumar's team, right? So
Yes.
this is the memorial I received. Oh.
Where is the compendium?
Could you please find out the compendiums? Dipansh, please find out. Okay, we can do one thing. Why don't you share your screen, Mr. Omkar? Om Shri. Yes, Om Shri, are you able to share your screen?
No, no, your lordship.
Is it because your option is not host is disabled? Dipansh, any update?
When I'm checking mails from that, I just contact with one person.
Om Shri, what's your team code?
TC30.
Who has sent them compendiums from which email ID?
Adarsh Kumar.
Adarsh. Mode code.
I found the compendium.
Compendiums. Petitioner. Yes, I got access to your compendium now. Please tell me which page number are you referring to?
Your lordship, please refer to page number 76.
Okay. Proceed.
The section 5 of the Hindu Marriage Act says, and I quote, a marriage between any two Hindus may be solemnized if the following conditions are fulfilled. Namely, neither party has a spouse living at the time of marriage. Second,
Council, we are aware of the conditions for marriage, but if I'd like to bring it to your notice, if you're trying to say any two Hindus should include the members from the community. Is that right?
yes, your lordship.
But now if you go in the same page that you're reading, if you see subclause 3, it says the bridegroom has to complete 21 years and the age of marriage for the bride is 18. So don't you think that this categorically states that it is for a heterosexual couple and not for a couple from the community?
No, your lordship. The council is of the view that there is nowhere explicitly mentioned that the Hindu Marriage Act only deals with the heterosexual couples. Also, we are of the view that if the drafters of the act had known about this issue, they would have included it because they have gone into deep words like sapindas, and if that's such an uncommon
Council, what do you mean by sapindas and where is it defined under which section?
sapindas in section 3, before section 3, I think.
What does it read?
Sapindas are the lineal descendants, and the Sapinda theory goes for 3 generations, so that they cannot marry.
Okay.
The Sapinda of each.
But council, you fail to understand that the entire tenor and understanding of the law of HMA refers to a husband and a wife. How can you read bride and bridegroom to include members of the community?
the petitioner, the council is that is what the council is saying, that there is nowhere explicitly mentioned. Otherwise, the drafters must have.
Council, please read your compendium. Section 5, subclause 3. Please read.
Subclause 3 says the bridegroom has completed the age
Stop.
of 21.
Who's a bridegroom?
A bridegroom is a person who marries a bride.
Okay, so what is the gender of the bridegroom?
It,
Timekeeper, please stop the time. I think there's a power cut for Om Shri. I think since we have lost Om Shri, we'll start from petitioner speaker number 2. Yes, speaker number 2. Please proceed to your issues.
Yes, co-counsel. Can I start, Your Lordship?
Yes, please.
Much obliged. This is counsel of petitioner who rises to continue submission on issue 2. The counsel would make 2 submissions in the course of argument. The first issue, the civil right must be granted to member of LGBTQ plus community. And the second issue is member from the said community can allowed to be married as per the rituals of their respective religions.
Counsel,
please-
what do you mean by civil rights?
A civil right means any person or which have rights to live in their society or countries or say the continent.
Where do you find this definition of civil rights, counsel? Do you have any source of law that defines civil rights as you stated?
Or else we can say that essential component of democracy.
Okay, proceed.
Much obliged. Please refer to preposition of point number 6.
What does it say?
It says about civil rights. The civil right guarantee of equal social opportunity and equal protection under the law, regardless of race, gender, religion, or other personal characteristic. Right of the LGBTQ plus community to own and inherit property, nominate their same-sex partners, on hospitals and insurance forms, and receive legal recognition of same-sex marriage were areas that needed urgent attention. Your Lordship, please kindly refer compendium page number 10. The case of Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India.
This case is of the Supreme Court?
Navtej Singh Johar and ORS versus Union of India.
Okay, is this judgment of the Supreme Court?
Yeah, yes, yes, my Lordship.
Okay.
The Secretary Ministry of Law and Justice, it ruled that any discrimination.
What are the
on
facts of the case of Navtej Singh Johar's case?
The challenge 377 section, sir. Lordship.
Okay. So what was held in the judgment ultimately?
Ultimately, they judge.
Please proceed to your next argument.
Okay, so my Lordship. The Secretary Ministry of Law and Justice, it ruled that any discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation is a violation of the Replemental Constitution. Sexual orientation is one of the many biological phenomena which is natural and inherent in an individual and is controlled by neurological and biological factors. Any discrimination on the basis of one's sexual orientation would entail violation of the
Where does a law in Replemento state that you cannot discriminate on grounds of sexual orientation? It says only on grounds of sex. Caste, creed, religion, sex. Where is sexual orientation in the law? Yes, Council, please continue.
Uh, uh, The Supreme Court, while regarding the Dawn Section 377 of the Reglamento Penal Code, had held that LGBT Reglamento would be entitled to the equal constitutional citizenship, thereby hinting at the future expansion of civil rights. In same case mentioned above, the Supreme Court found that Section 377 discriminate against the individual on the basis of their sexual orientation and or gender identity, violating Article 14 and 15 of the Constitution. Not granting the LGBTQ community with the civil right is also a clear violation of this same fundamental rights.
Okay.
The civil right of the LGBTQ person must therefore be shifted beyond the marriage to account for all aspects of the state regulation of the civil rights and family, such as succession, parenthood, economic dependency, and protection from violence in intimate relationship. This needs to get reflected in litigation and law reform strategies urgently to undo the years of oppression and discrimination faced by the community. If your lordship, there is no further more question in regard than moving to a second submission.
Please move on to your second submission.
It's much obliged. The second issue, the members from the said community can be allowed to be married as per the ritual of their respective religion.
Council, don't you think that since there are no ceremonies to to arrange a solemnization of marriages of members of the community, how are you going to create these ceremonies?
As we are in the as we are living in the very growing, developing country or stage or generation, so by taking step by step, we can create this awareness regarding LGBT community that they should also have right to move freely and marriage freely without any.
No, you say that these members should be permitted to marry as per rituals of their religions. That means you're trying to say that a member of the community should be permitted to marry in the church or a temple or a mosque, right?
Yes, yeah, lordship.
So what I'm saying is, how can a temple, church, or mosque solemnize a marriage when there is no custom till today, or when there is no ritual till today, or when there is no procedure till today to do that? Are they going to create these ceremonies?
My lordship, I take an example in a previous historic sati is also a very great. So by slowly we have prohibited that sati. So by that we can say that we slowly we can create.
I agree that they should be given rights, even if let us assume we have to agree. But asking them to be allowed to marry as per the rituals of their religions, how can we do that? Where is the procedure? For instance, in Hindus, you have the 7 rounds around the fire, but that is only for a man and a woman, right? How can we apply that to a man and a man or a woman and a woman? Can we do that?
Yeah, as Supreme Court just taken to legalize their marriages, as legalize their marriages by same sex. So we can just.
No, it's a question of religion, Council. Yeah. For instance, Council, you belong to which religion?
My lordship, I belong to Hindu
okay, religion. So the way you pray a particular prayer, can that be changed by the court of law? Can I tell you how to pray?
No, lordship.
No, right? So when I can't dictate how to pray, how can I dictate how to perform a ritual?
But I take an example. If any Hindu religion in Hindu religion, if any bisexual or say hijra or any by birth, so we can't say that their fault. It is just their fate. So we can't prevent them from doing this. So we can just create awareness we can create awareness.
Okay. So when you create awareness, to treat them
As
properly.
equal rights.
Yes,
there.
you treat them equally, but can you ask the ceremonies to change? That's my question. Like you said, I can't tell you how to pray. Can I tell the Pandit how to conduct a ceremony of marriage? Can I counsel?
No, lordship. No, my lordship.
If I can't, then this issue is closed against you. What are the other arguments you have, counsel?
Members from the said community can be allowed, no. And the civil rights, my
Okay,
lordship.
please continue.
Am I audible?
Om Shri, we are listening to speaker number 2. After that, we'll come back to you.
As my lordship, there are two issues for me. Just I have completed civil rights first, and this was the rituals. Were the
Since
second
you
one,
have
second
some more
issues
time,
of mine.
do you want to make more contentions?
Yes, my lordship.
Okay, please continue. When you speak civil rights should be granted to the community, what
Yes,
are the
my-
civil rights we are talking about? Please elaborate.
There should be a concrete legislation or say law. They can they have equal rights as other community
So
have.
you want there to be a new legislation.
Yes, my lordship, because they have also rights to be to live. So we should provide their
Can the court
rights.
form a new legislation or the legislature should do that?
As we seen in many cases, the court has given just taken Navjit Singh cases. They have allowed they have equal rights. They can marry the same sex. In Navjit Singh's case, so we can say that the court had already given a platform to them.
Okay.
Much obliged.
Any more arguments?
So we can say that
Your lordship, can I proceed with my arguments which were left?
Counsel, we'll come back to you. We will give you your complete time. Yes, Mr. Adarsh.
So my lordship,
Counsel, don't stress. Take a deep breath and read what your memorial says or whatever you have prepared.
so as we can say that the right to marry a person of one choice is a fundamental right, or respective caste, creed, religion, or sexual orientation. Hence, the depriving an individual right to marry on the basis of sexual orientation is a clear violation of fundamental rights. Members from the LGBTQ community must have freedom to be married as per the ritual of their respective religions.
Okay.
And also the governments or whether or not the government recognize same-sex marriage, and however government chooses to define marriage, no government can tell people whom to love, nor it can exert exclusive control over marriage or people's understanding
Counsel,
of
is
marriage.
love and marriage, in the same breath? Is it necessary if you love a person, you have to marry that person?
As we take it recently,
If you could state your personal opinion also is fine. Do you think people who love each other should marry each other? Is it mandatory? Since
it's not
there are
we can't say it's mandatory, but also it's without marrying we can live. So if they are eligible to take care of both of them.
So exactly.
independently.
So why don't the members of the LGBT community just live in relationships without marriage?
But I take an example of just recently judgment came regarding that there should be not a living relationship, that they have.
Okay. But there were other judgments also which permitted live-in relationships. That was a
Yes, my
conflicting
lordship.
decision.
Yes, my lordship. There's a lot of conflicts between before the Supreme Court has denied the judgment regarding LGBT community, but in 2010, 2006, the same Supreme Court has given permits or given rights to the LGBT community regarding same-sex marriage.
Council, are you aware there's a judgment of the Supreme Court which dismissed the rights of marriage to the community?
Sorry, my lord.
Okay. Proceed to your prayer.
Yes, my lord. Whereof, in the light of the question presented, argument advanced, and the authority cited, petitioner request this humble courts to find a judge and clear that the first prayer, the Hindu Marriage Act and the Special Marriage Fact is applicable to the LGBTQ community, and the second one is the benefits of the civil right must be extended to the community, and the third one is the culture, tradition, rituals, and the rights do form an exhaustive code, but they should be interpreted keeping in mind the advanced in time and society. The fourth one is members from the LGBTQ community must have the freedom to get married as per the rituals of their respective religion.
Thank you, Council.
Much obliged.
Petitioner speaker
Lordship.
number 1. How much time is left, Deepansh, for speaker 1?
11 minutes, 32 seconds to be exact.
11 minutes. So speaker 1, you can continue from where you stopped. And we'll give you additionally time in case we deem fit. And also, Om Shri, is it possible to switch on your camera or there is a network issue?
No, your lordship. Basically, there is no light in my area currently.
Okay, fine. You can proceed without the camera then. Yes.
First of all, my lord, sorry for the inconvenience caused.
No, we light and electricity and health is not within our hands. It's okay. Proceed.
Your lordship, can you please repeat the last question that you were asking?
So my question to you was, you have referred to section 5 stating that the term in Hindu Marriage Act is any two Hindus. Thus, members from the community should be permitted to get married, right? What I'm saying is section 5 subclause 3, which you read itself, refers to the age limit for marriage for a bride and a bridegroom. And when you say a bride is a woman, a bridegroom is a man, how can we include members from the community? It is only for a matrimony between heterosexual couples.
Your lordship, as you are mentioning that the subclause 5 is talking about heterosexual couples, the point that the council would like to mention here is that there is a separate section which talks about the degrees of prohibition. And if the drafters of the act had this in mind, that they didn't want an homosexual couple to have a marriage in India, they must have mentioned that in section 3 of the act. But they have not mentioned in this. It means that they were not against the marriage. But the problem that India is facing now is that we are not interpreting it in the light of the current circumstances as in we are.
Council, what about the fact that we have this, you are referring to grounds for divorce. They refer to the grounds for divorce for husband and wife in the Hindu Marriage Act. So can we say that that also can be for the members of the community?
Your lordship, the council will like to give the defense of ignorance because we have not gone into that manner.
Okay.
The manner was more on the marriage of the said community, therefore we were focusing on the aspects related to the marriage.
Okay. So see, the main criteria for a marriage is procreation in the law as well, right? So marriage can be annulled, a divorce can be granted if there is no procreation. So how do members of the community procreate? They cannot procreate, right? So on that ground itself, marriages should not be granted the right to marry.
Your lordship, the reason that procreation is an essential is a very subjective reason, because we are living in a scientific community and we are growing leaps and bounds every second as we are talking. So there are still many scientific methods by which a person who was before deemed not to have the capacity to procreate are having a child. So I think in the coming future, there will be many methods where a man can have a baby too.
Okay. So you believe that, what about the rigors of the law, which says, now, for instance, there's so many rules of law which say that you cannot read a statute in isolation. So you're saying that bride and bridegroom means members of the community also?
Your Lordship, keeping in mind the reason that you give, I would like to mention as we have kept in mind the intrinsic nature of the Indian law, as we all know, not everything is as explicitly mentioned as we would like to. So I would like to mention J.P. Singh's Principles of Statutory Interpretation, in which he points out that the court is free to apply the current meaning of a statute to present day conditions. A statute must be interpreted in the light of the legal system as it exists in today. So keeping in mind the points raised by J.P. Singh, we can say that in the current scenario—
Is J.P. Singh binding on his counsel?
Sir, Your Lordship, it's not about whether he is binding or not. It's about the persuasive nature of the points that he has
Has there
made.
been any judgment where his views were considered by this court?
Not that of counsel is aware of, Your Lordship.
Counsel, how does this court have jurisdiction?
Can you repeat your question, Your Lordship?
How does this court have jurisdiction? As per which article of the Constitution this court is granted jurisdiction?
139A.
Okay. Yes, counsel, proceed to your next issue. Do you have any other arguments regarding the Special Marriage Act? How is that applicable?
Your Lordship, the Special Marriage Act is applicable to any person living on the land of India of any ethnicity, culture, creed, or sex. It is not—
Counsel, have you gone through the parliamentary debates which were prior to passing of any law? There are a lot of parliamentary debates. So none of those debates refer to homosexual couples at all.
Your Lordship, the problem that is currently in India is that the people are not ready to accept what has to be done in order to become a more modern community as a whole. If we talk about the Supreme Court's
The court is not bothered to become modern or to be archaic. The court is only bothered to uphold rights if they are in line with the law. So we do not want to hear this argument, counsel.
Your Lordship, if I may, then I will put forward the facts. Like, if we are not giving the rights to homosexuals of marriage, then we are practically debarring them from practicing their rights under Article 19, Article 21. And also,
Article 19 does not refer to marriage, no, counsel?
No, the Lordship, it's not exclusively about marriage, but in some way or the other, not giving them the rights they deserve somewhat changes how they practice their right.
Which article speaks about marriage as a fundamental right?
There is no article which explicitly mentions.
So which right is being violated of these people?
Your Lordship, as my friend Adarsh, as my co-counsel Adarsh also mentioned in the case of Shafeen, must have mentioned the Safin Jahan versus others. It was held by the Supreme Court of India that Article 21 includes marriage, and it is an integral part. Marriage also—
Does it say that everyone should marry?
No, Your Lordship.
What are the facts of the case?
The facts of the case, the counsel does not know the exhaustive case of the fact, but the major points were that there were people from two different religions who wanted to marry each other.
So basically, the freedom under Special Marriage Act was held, right?
Yes, Your Lordship.
Okay. Counsel, next issue. Do you have any other arguments, or you want to move on to the next issue?
Okay, Your Lordship. So the second issue that I would be contending is that whether tradition, rites, rituals, and customs form an exhaustive part. So the counsel, on behalf of the petitioner, would like to submit that the customs in India and the traditions that we have followed form an integral part of the law that we have made. They aren't as exhaustive, but and in no possible in logical.
Council, why do you say it's not exhaustive? Has there been any instance mentioned in any of the scriptures supporting the sexual acts of the homosexuals? Is there any scripture which speaks so?
Yes, Your Lordship. The most prominent scripture which talks about homosexuals is the Kama Sutra, written by Rishi Vatsyayan in 320 AD.
Can we consider Kama Sutra as a holy book now?
Your Lordship, it's not about being holy or not, it's about being the traditions that were actually being followed in our country.
Council is very simple. When you're speaking about religion, then the holy books should be considered. I don't think we can consider Kama Sutra as a holy book now.
Your Lordship, so if we are only keeping ourselves exclusively to the holy scriptures, then I would like to mention a point mentioned in the Vishnu Purana in Hinduism.
Please do.
As we all Hindu, we know that there are two great descendants of, one is of the sun god, which are known as Suryavanshi, the part of which was Sri Ram, and the second is the Chandravanshis. So the point that Vishnu Puran makes is the first is the Chandravanshi lines descendant from a homosexual person, a transgender person known with the name of Ella. After the descendants were, after she set up this descendancy of Chandravanshis, she changed her name to Elam, becoming a man. So if Vishnu Purana can mention a transgender, I don't think there is any other book that can negate it.
So that will bring in the realm of only Hindus. The Muslim religion, the Christianity, both categorically have scriptures where they say that if you're a homosexual, then you have to be killed. What do you talk about that? How do you respond to that?
Your Lordship, as we all know, Christianity is mostly followed in USA, and with USA,
Council. I myself am a Christian right here in India, not in USA. Many people in India are Christians. I don't think we can make such a general statement that it's not followed in India.
No, Your Lordship, I'm not saying it's not followed in India, but the majority of Christians live in USA, and
only USA. I thought
Not
throughout
only-
the world they have spread
Yes,
their wings.
Yes, Your Lordship, it's the most followed religion in the world, so I cannot say that
I don't know that. India has a maximum population. I don't know whether you could say it's the most followed. But Council, how do you say that just because they stay in US, does it mean India should not consider what they say?
Your Lordship, it's not about years. There are other 59 countries which have given legal what we can say, a legal immunity to homosexual marriages.
Where do you find that in the compendium?
Where do my co-counsel Adarsh must be knowing about it, because it's basically in his issue that he has taken up. So I'm not so thorough with that topic.
Okay.
Talking about but when I move forward to talking about the tradition of India, if we read in the history books, we can say that India traditionally was a much liberal society.
India traditionally was nowhere liberal. Everywhere there was riots, there was danga fazad, there was division on grounds of religion. How do you say that there was utmost peace, Council?
Your Lordship, traditionally means I'm talking about before the invasion of Turks, where the actual from where the actual traditions and the customs which we now follow in India have come from. Most of the traditions.
So, Council, according to you, Christians stay abroad, so we don't need to bother about them. So, Muslims, you believe they stay in India?
Your Lordship, I believe that both Christians and Muslims.
So on that point, if in the Quran there are categoric verses which read that you should stone them to death.
Yes, Your Lordship.
So now what do you have to say to that then? What about Muslims' rights?
Your Lordship, they as they criminalized homosexuality, but the Supreme Court has decriminalized Section 377, saying that
the Supreme Court also passed a judgment saying that civil rights cannot be granted to the homosexuals. That also is there. Should I be bound by that decision? Then this petition will be dismissed.
No, your lordship, it's not about whether this bench, whether your lordship should be bound by the decisions taken by that court, but it's all about the persuasive nature.
No, you
As
tell
per
me,
the-
you said that Hindu scriptures speak about the community, so that's fine. But what about the other religions? What about the Quran? Should we ignore it?
Your lordship, in the view of the council, with the changing times, these definitions should also change.
Can we rewrite the Quran or rewrite the Bible?
It's not about rewriting, your lordship, because it's about interpreting them in a way that we can live peacefully with both of
Council, are
them.
you aware of the Sabrimala decision?
Yes, your lordship.
So what happened after they interpreted liberally? What was the response from the country council? Was it accepted?
No, your lordship, it was not accepted.
That's all. This judgment also will have the same fate.
But your lordship, that's what the petitioner want. The petitioner want your lordship to be the beacon of hope for the LGBTQA community. Because if we live by the simple definitions that if we do something apart from what have been followed, then the judiciary of the country.
Can we bring rationality into religion? We cannot bring rationality into religion. You're protected. All personal laws are exempted from rationality, right?
Yes, your lordship.
Then how can I interfere bringing rationality as a principle? Can I tell you
Yes,
rationally as to, like, for instance, in churches, the women do not preach. In the mosque, there are so many mosques where women are not permitted to enter. The azan's call is by a man. Can I pass a judgment saying it is a gender neutral world? Let men and women do all of these. Or in other religions, the priests are again male members in Hinduism. Can I pass a judgment interfering with that view?
the lordship, I think that this falls inside the purview of the Sabrimala temple case, because there were some traditions that were being followed from thousands of years, but Supreme Court changed those traditions just
See,
because we are gender neutral.
what does Jainism, Buddhism, and Sikhism speak about the community?
I'm not so sure about Jainism and Sikhism, but Buddhism is all about peace and tranquility.
So they're all hunky dory there, no issues.
Yes, the councils think so.
Yes, council, any more arguments?
No, your lordship.
Yes, thank you, council. Respondent speaker 1.
Good evening, your honorable bench. The council seeks permission to address the bench as your lordship.
Please do.
Much obliged, your lordship. Myself and my co-counsel are appearing on the side of respondent in the case concerning Rainbow Non-Profit Organization versus Republic of Replemento. Council respectfully seeks permission to move towards the facts of the case.
Please move on to your issues directly.
Okay, your lordship. The issues raised were whether or not the Hindu Marriage Act 1955 and Special Marriage Act can be read in a manner so as to include the people of LGBTQIA plus community. Issue number
What
2.
is IA in this acronym?
Your lordship, L is belong.
No, I know all that. Just let me know INA.
I full form is intersex and A is allies.
How do we understand what is intersex?
Intersex means, your lordship, who a person who love both the gender.
That is bisexual, council. That is B, not I.
Indeed, your lordship.
What is A then?
A is asexual and allies.
Okay. Okay, please tell me how the HMA cannot be considered to include the people from the community.
Your lordship, Hindu Marriage Act 1955 section 5 is not gender neutral because it specifically mentioned in his clause 3 that about the age of bride and the groom. So a person belonging to a
Why can't it be meant to understand? Since bride means a girl, it means the marriage between two brides. The age is 21. Why, or 18? Why can't we understand in that manner?
Indeed, your lordship, because in the case of Mr. X versus Hospital Y,
By
it
which
was,
judgment, which court?
sorry for the inconvenience. I don't, your lordship, I don't know. The Supreme Court gave the judgment in the Mr. X versus Hospital Y, and it was
What are the facts of that case?
the facts of the case were that a person belonging to HIV/AIDS was admitted in a hospital, and the wife of the person plead in this case that he has HIV. Because of that, marriage would be not be solemnized.
What a court hold?
The court in this case mentioned that marriage is a sacred union legally permissible of two healthy bodies of opposite sexes. So according to this case, your lordship, we can
That wasn't that facts of that case. How is that related to this case? The factual background is completely different. Where is HIV related to members of the community? Are all members of the community HIV positive? Is that what you're saying?
no,
Then
your
how is the
lordship.
judgment even relevant here?
Your lordship, the judgment was because the husband has HIV. That is why the marriage was being cancelled in this case.
So in this case of members of the community, why they should be cancelled? Because they have HIV?
Because in the Hindu Marriage Act specifically talks about the diseases, that if a husband or a wife has some diseases and they are not open at the time of the solemnizing of
So
marriage.
here the community members will tell no that they are homosexual or lesbian, and then only they will marry them, right? Where is the question of hiding their individuality or orientation?
Indeed, your lordship, the case the council has taken has specifically deals with the question and answer that about how marriage can only happen between opposite sexes and not the same sexes.
Did they refer to that, or they said that when a person is HIV positive on the grounds of the Hindu Marriage Act, we can annul the marriage?
Indeed, your
It says that, where does it say that marriage should only be between man and woman? That there is no jurisprudence in India yet for that, right? Is there jurisprudence?
No, your lordship. Actually, in section 13, clause 2, it specifically talks about that a wife can only a wife can file a divorce for the husband. So as we can see from this fact that a act can be read as a whole and not in context or in isolation. So if we read it in as a whole, then we can see that section 13 specifically
There is no
talks
grounds
about
for
a wife.
divorce by man in HMA.
Your lordship, a wife can sue a wife can only file a divorce petition.
Hindu husbands cannot file divorce petitions.
There is a clause in 13 clause 1 of 13 of Hindu Marriage Act. A man can.
So then when man can file and women can file, they can file against men and against women also, no? Men against men, women against women. What's the issue?
Your lordship, the issue is that HMA or even Special Marriage Act or not even any personal law can debate on this debate on this topic that same-sex couples can be included, because this is the matter of the legislature to see, as legislature is the only one who who make any law, and judiciary is the one who see these cases and implement in the cases. So this is not, if I am not saying, your lordship, that they should not get the right to marry, but the contention of this of respondent is that the question of marriage should be only given to the legislature and not the judiciary.
But what about the fact of 1 second, counsel?
Yes, your lordship.
What about the fact, counsel, that why does the section 2 of the act not say that marriage between homosexuals is a prohibited marriage? Why does it not prohibit? Like HMA speaks of prohibited degrees. Why don't you say that a marriage between a couple of the same sex is void, is prohibited? There's nothing regarding that.
Indeed, your lordship, there
So
is
let
nothing.
let us consider this.
No, your lordship, we cannot consider this, because this will be against our culture and ethos of the country, because
Council, are people following cultures and ethos as of today? Only humanity is important.
Indeed, your lordship, only humanity is important, and humanity is the
In this pandemic
biggest
times,
thing.
don't you see, more people are not saving you and me because we are from the same religion. They're helping us because we are from the same humanitarian grounds only, right? So,
Indeed, your lordship.
so on grounds of culture and tradition, should we ban someone from enjoying basic rights that a heterosexual couple enjoys?
Your lordship, when the constitution was made, everyone knows that section 377 was a crime. In Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India, the Supreme Court, the Honorable Supreme Court of India, decriminalized section 377. So 377 was the matter of IPC. So the judiciary was have a hand on that, but the rights are related to marriage or civil rights are the matter of legislature, because
Council,
legislature.
have you
Yes.
not seen judgments where courts have given directions? Courts have given formed guidelines. We'll form guidelines.
Yes, your lordship.
Why do you keep saying we don't have power? We don't have power. We have ample power.
Your lordship, if the court has made guidelines, then the court has also rejected some petitions because.
But this shouldn't be rejected on that ground. Don't you think?
Your lordship, this is the matter of personal laws, and personal law cannot be contested against part 3 because in the case of Soumitra Vishnu versus Union of India and others, and Krishna Singh versus Mathura Iyer, in these two cases, the Supreme Court of
Supreme Court.
Yeah.
What are the facts?
Your lordship, the
Can
facts
you share
of
your
the
screen? Deepansh, please tell the mood coordinator to enable share screen option. Yes, what are the facts?
can I say the facts? I don't have.
Please share your please
Much
tell the
obliged.
facts.
Much obliged, your lordship. In Soumitra Vishnu, the petitioners challenges the validity of section 497 of the Penal Code, which defines the offense of adultery and prescribes punishment for it. Petitioner was the wife.
Okay. Anjali, please enhance share screen option in all courtrooms. But counsel.
Yes, your lordship.
Where does that judgment say that in part 3 this cannot be looked into, personal laws? Does it say so? Is it the obiter dicta or the ratio decidendi?
Your lordship, in Soumitra Vishnu versus Union of India, in page 141, line 22, it is mentioned.
I'm not bothered where it is. I'm asking you, is it the obiter dicta or the ratio decidendi?
It was the obiter dicta.
What is the difference between two?
Your lordship, ratio decidendi. Your lordship, in the case where ratio descendi came, your lordship, ratio descendi means that the what was
Decidendi.
the decidendi, your lordship, reasons of the judgment. What was the reasons of the judgment? Descendi, and the
Obiter
second
dicta.
obiter dicta was the what was mentioned in the case.
So what was mentioned in the case, and the other thing is the reasoning in the case.
Yes, yes, your lordship.
Very good. Next, what's the next issue? Any other arguments here?
Yes, your lordship. The next issue was related to that whether the civil rights should be granted to the LGBTQIA plus community. So civil rights can be termed as the bundle
What are civil rights? What all will be included in this bundle of rights, council?
yes, your lordship. The civil rights include right to marry, right to vote, right to own property, right to claim a formal identity through a passport and a ration card, driver's license, right to education, employment, and health, and so on.
But I don't think all these rights are relevant in this case, no? Ration card and all they still can get, I think.
Indeed, your lordship.
Driving
But
license also they can get.
indeed, your lordship.
What are the rights relevant in this case?
Your lordship, relevant in this case is right to marry, right to adoption, right to surrogacy, and right to parenthood, etc. Your lordship, but
Petitioner speaker one very vehemently said that you can have these rights because the technology has advanced to a certain level. So why don't we grant such rights to them?
Your lordship, again, the council will repeat that beside right to marry and right related to marry, each and every right have been granted to the LGBTQIA plus community.
So wo bhi de do na. Why don't you want to give everything? What is the reason that you don't want to give?
The reason is that this is not the matter of judiciary. This is the matter of legislature. So how can we say that?
So was the judgment in Vishaka wrong? When it framed guidelines for sexual harassment, till the law came, it was the legislature actually.
No, your lordship, the matter in Vishaka was very relevant because it was related to
So
rape.
members of the community, their life is not relevant to you.
No, your lordship. The council has not doesn't appreciate this because the right in the case of Vishaka, the guidelines was made because it was the case of brutal rape.
So you are saying the lives of the community is irrelevant to India?
No, your lordship, the council is not saying that. Each and every the same-sex couples are equally entitled to all the fundamental rights as the same-sex couples.
But the legislature should do it and not the court, right?
Yes.
So can I pass an order saying the government to formulate a law within a period of 6 months from today? Is that fine?
Your lordship, you can you can suggest the legislature to make a law, but at the end of the day, it is the legislature to decide whether it should be made or not.
If I tell the legislature to make a law and they don't make a law, it's contempt of court, right, council?
Your lordship, the judiciary has only option of suggesting it, but not ordering it. Because according to Montesquieu, each and every power, there is a separation of power. So judiciary has its own power, legislative have its own power. So judiciary cannot order, because the three are equally.
Council, which state are you staying in, council?
Your lordship, I'm staying in Bhopal.
Bhopal. Have you come across all the judgments by various high courts in your country, which speak about what the high courts are actually running the states now? COVID vaccine, COVID beds, ICU, oxygen, all are judgments. Lockdown to be imposed, not to be imposed, judgment. Executive is not working.
Yes, your lordship.
Court is supposed to even taking the role of the executive. Court is taking the role of legislature. So basically, when the system fails, court is stepping and doing an extra job. So they should be given a pat on their back rather than telling you don't have the right to do, right?
Your lordship, but again, this is the matter of personal laws, and personal laws don't come under the purview of Article 13 of the Indian Constitution. So the personal laws are only the matter of legislature, and legislature should only make a mandate. As in Special Marriage Act also, no one thought before Special Marriage Act that India will have intercaste marriages that India will see intercaste marriages. But the legislature see that and see the necessity. So what I'm trying to say that if the legislature will have an impact that and will see that okay, now it's the time to make the civil rights specifically right to marry for the same-sex couple same-sex couple, then the legislature will do. Until then, the judiciary should not interfere in matters of legislature.
Thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Your Lordship. Much obliged. Your Lordship, if you're satisfied with issue 1 and 2,
Whether I'm satisfied or no, you will see the judgment.
much obliged, Your Lordship.
Thank you.
Your Lordship, the Council respectfully seeks the permission of your Honorable Bench to proceed towards issue number 3.
Please.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. Issue 3 is whether or not the customs, traditions, rites, and rituals from exhaustive court as contested by the Republic of Replimento. According to Savaini, a law made without taking into
According to who?
consideration. Savaini.
How am I bound by this person?
Sir, Your Lordship, he belonged to the historical school of law, and he
Are there judgments relying on his statements?
there are Your Lordship, there are various judgments relying on the sayings of Manu, which I have also referred to, and various jurists also have been referred by various judges in the judgment while delivering the judgments.
Okay.
Your Lordship, can I
Please proceed.
much obliged, Your Lordship. According to Savaini, a law made without taking into consideration the past historical, culture, and traditions of the community is likely to create more confusion than rather than solving the problems. Because
Counsel, now, can a custom be said to be correct even though it's against rights of people?
Your Lordship.
One second, Miss Counsel. Dipansh, please help Miss Mridulika to be shifted to other courtrooms. Please help by getting in touch with Anjali. Please extend this time to the speaker. Counsel, my question to you is, when there are certain customs, like sati was abolished, untouchability was abolished, slavery was abolished, how are we supposed to, say that these rights cannot be, stopped? So doesn't need that if a custom is followed, it has to be right. It can still be wrong, right?
Indeed, Your Lordship. If we take the example of Sati Pratha, Sati Pratha was abolished by the legislature by passing an act known as Prevention of Sati Act 1829. So it should be left in the hands of the legislature to bring any changes in the custom.
What I don't understand is, what is the problem if the judiciary passes an order?
Your Lordship, if we take the example of Sabrimala, Indian Young Lawyers Association versus the state of Kerala, in the judgment came in the favor of the women, but still they are not ready to enter the temple because they have their own customary beliefs, and they,
If you're
according
given
to
a chance to fly down to Sabrimala temple, would you go?
Your Lordship, that depends.
On free ticket.
Your Lordship, it depends on the consent given by my family, because even my family.
No, you're a person who's aged about 25, 30. You're free to take your own decisions. The court has said that women can go. Now you tell me, Kerala does not want you to come, but you, being a woman, want to enforce your right by the Supreme Court judgment. What will you do?
Your Lordship, going by the customary beliefs and which are so deep rooted in the minds of the people, I would definitely not go in that temple. because that
So are you trying
decision-
to tell me? I'm told that women under menstruation cannot enter a temple.
Yes,
I think
indeed,
this
your
is a
lordship.
Hindu rule.
Indeed, your lordship.
Women under menstruation, they cannot be touched by their husbands as well. So are you trying to say that all these customs are correct?
Your lordship, I'm not trying to say that all these customs are correct. All I'm trying to say is the judiciary should not intervene in these matters, because
So you're okay if the legislature passes a law saying you should go to
indeed, your
Sabrimala.
lordship.
That's all.
Indeed, your lordship.
Okay.
Because since legislature is connected to the grassroots level of the democracy, they have better knowledge. They are in a better position to
Highly
implement.
uneducated legislators.
Uh,
Yes.
your lordship, most of the judges come from the elite background, due to which they don't know what is the reality of the society and the legislature, and it has
Extremely sorry. I'm
Your
very
lordship.
much in touch with the harsh realities of life. That's why we're
your,
conducting this round virtually and not asked you to come physically to Hyderabad. We're very
Your
well
lordship.
aware of your troubles.
Your lordship, these lines are not said by me, but these lines have been said by B.N. Rao.
What did Bean
so-
Rao say?
B.N. Rao said that the legislature is connected to the grassroots level of democracy, and the judges come from the elite background, due to which it should be left in the hands of the legislature to make any law.
Okay.
And your lordship, if you may please to allow me to continue.
Yeah, please continue. I'm not
much,
stopping.
much obliged, your lordship. According to Pluta, the custom is independent of the
According
law
to
of
whom now?
Pluta.
Okay. So basically you define customs, but what I want to know is the petitioner council number 1 very vehemently stated that there are so many instances of presence of homosexuality since so many years.
Yes.
For instance, he has even very well given an example of the Hindu religion. He has given the example of the Kama Sutra book. So what do you have to say that? So there is an existence of it.
Indeed, your lordship. Your lordship, if we talk about Saptapadi, that is a taking of 7 steps by a bride and a bridegroom around the sacred fire. It is a customary ceremony that makes any marriage a valid marriage. So that ceremony, in fact, needs talks about a bride and a bridegroom explicitly. And even in Dharma Shastra, it has been mentioned that a wife is the one who completes her husband, and a man is incomplete without his wife. And it is a wife. She is not just Patni, but Dharma Patni. She is Ardhangini, and the ceremonies of marriage are performed for the purpose of procreation. So
procreation is possible, very rightly pointed out by speaker 1. You can still procreate through the highly sophisticated techniques, and with the advancement of techniques, man can become woman can become man can become pregnant. Anything can happen today.
Your lordship, but that would not be a natural procreation, and that would go against the society, because
how is technology against society? So then technology should be banned?
Indeed, your lordship.
Science and technology should not be considered by the government.
Your lordship, it should be considered, but we are living in a society that is not ready to accept the same-sex marriage so easily. And if we will force it, then it would create disharmony in the society. It would break the social fabric, and along with the social fabric,
Council for the rights of majority, can we kill the minority?
Your lordship, we can't kill the rights of the minority, but we have to keep the society in the mind, because after passing any judgment, it affects the society.
Okay.
So,
is there any rule by law which says that court should consider the societal norms?
Indeed, your lordship. While delivering the judgment, Justice Indu Malhotra gave her dissenting opinion in Indian Young Lawyers
Are we bound
Association.
by dissenting opinions?
Your lordship, it acts as a persuasive it acts as a persuasive judgment because in various judgments, for example, in Menka Gandhi, the dissenting opinion given by Justice Faisal Ali in A.K. Gopalan became the majority opinion in Menka Gandhi. So it definitely has a persuasive value.
So you believe what was done can be undone in future now?
Indeed, your lordship.
Okay.
Your lordship, Justice Indu Malhotra said that courts normally do not delve into the issues of religious practices. Religious customs and practices cannot solely be tested upon the touchstone of Article 14 and principles of rationality embedded therein.
Okay. Yes, counsel, anything else?
Indeed, your lordship. Your lordship, if you are satisfied with issue 3, the council seeks permission to proceed towards issue number 4.
Please do.
Much obliged, your lordship. Issue 4, whether or not the members of the said community can be allowed to be married as per the rituals of their respective religion. There have been various judgments, I already mentioned about B.N. Rao. He said
Counsel,
that
there are so many ceremonies we have come across. If you're on social media, you'd see many marriages performed in temples and mosques and churches of the members of the community abroad. Hindu marriages, Muslim marriages, Christian marriages. So why don't we do that in India?
Your lordship, because India is a
Republic of Raplamento. My apologies.
Your lordship, the major religions of Republic of Raplamento are Hinduism, Islam, and Christianity. And Hinduism has defined marriage as a joining of two individuals for life, so they can pursue dharma.
Two individuals, right? Two individuals need not be husband, wife.
Your lordship, I was going to complete my statement.
Please do.
Two individuals for life, so that they can pursue dharma, arth, kam, and moksha. Hindu marriages are recognized by law and are usually between the members of opposite sexes, and the same was held in Mr. X versus Hospital Z.
Okay.
And if we talk about Islamic perspective, marriage, Islam condemns same-sex, Islam even condemns same-sex relationship, because according to their theological and moral arguments, it is said that people who perform sexually who are involved in same-sex in sexually active relationship are going against the harmony of God's creation, and hence it is the revolt against God. And in Christianity, there is no outright definition of marriage, but there are various passages in the Bible according to which say that marriage should be solemnized between a husband, can only be solemnized between a husband and a wife.
But do we have to be bound by those archaic texts? With the changing times, we should accept new definitions. For instance, sati was abolished because we went ahead with accepting modern times, right? So these definitions do not speak well of the time that we are in today.
Your lordship, there have been various judgments which say that the customs and religious practices should be only altered by the legislatures. So your lordship, we are not.
What if a custom is wrong and the legislator has not done anything for so many years? 70 years of independence, nothing done till today.
Your lordship, this is due to the fact that it has only been 3 years after when section 377 has been decriminalized. So the society has not taken that that as a positive note, due to which if we are going to
no, the community was very happy when it was decriminalized. There was so much it was welcomed, the decision by the entire community.
Indeed, your lordship, the community welcomed the decision, but it was highly criticized by the people of the country.
I have not seen any article of it being criticized. Please share any article that you hear of.
Your lordship, if a marriage between a same-sex couple would be legalized, then it would it would destroy the social fabric, and not only social fabric, but it will also destroy the constitutional fabric, because in the constitution powers have been divided under list 3 entry 5. uh, Legislature has been empowered to alter any part of the personal law, and if judiciary will try to intervene in that, then it would be the then it would lead to the destruction of constitutional fabric as well as social fabric.
Okay. Anything else, counsel?
uh, your lordship, I have submitted my arguments. The
It's your
council,
prayer.
much obliged, your lordship. Therefore, in the lights of issues raised, arguments advanced, and authorities cited, it is humbly requested that this honorable court may be pleased to adjudge and declare that Hindu Marriage Act 1955 and Special Marriage Act 1954 should not be read in a manner so as to include members from the LGBTQIA plus community, that all the civil rights have already been provided to the members apart from the rights related to the marriage, and which should be left in the hands of the legislature. The members of the said community should not be allowed to be married as per their respective religions until legislature comes up with any law.
Thank you, counsel.
And that
Petitioners rebuttal,
I-
30 seconds. Petitioners
Yes, Your Lordship.
rebuttal.
I would like to ask the councils on behalf of the respondents.
You cannot ask questions. You just make statements and proceed.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
going to make a statement. That as they have mentioned, that just to maintain harmony, can we let the wrong happen? Sati was abolished, triple talaq was abolished, women were given co-personary rights. All this when it was known that it would create great disharmony. So are the respondents of the view that minority community should be sacrificed for the meager appeasement of the majority?
Yes, respondents. Sir, rebuttal.
Your lordship, I have 2 to 3 submissions. Sati Pratha was not abolished by the judiciary. It was abolished by the legislation passed by the legislature. And second thing, homosexual relationships and marriages are two different things, and the petition one should not try to combine these two things into one. And third, that Hindu Marriage Act should not be read should be read as a whole and not into bits and pieces. And fourth, since Section 3 after NALSA versus Union of India, various civil rights have been provided, and rights related to marriage should only be provided by the legislature.
Okay. Thank you, councils. So we'll just do a short. So now you don't need to call me lordship or anything. I hope all of you enjoyed your rounds.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Om.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Despite your
Quite a
power
lot.
cut, I hope there was no trouble.
Yes, yes, sir. Can you repeat?
I hope the power cut did not, dampen your confidence.
It did, but we can't do anything about it. We have to move forward.
Yes. So starting from petitioner speaker 1, you're very confident. I like the fact that you referred to your compendiums. Many students do not refer. They just, keep it there. Answers were good. You were very polite. You had good views and few decisions. Please do not use the word okay. You have to be very formal. You had the very interesting point on Chandravanshi. That was a very brilliant and unique statement that you have made. But I think you need to be thorough on both your issues because you cannot say that issue was of, it's not a rigid compartment division where A will not know what B is saying or B will not know what A is saying. You have to know both. I liked your rebuttals as well, Shri. It was quite crisp, concise, and on point. Mr. Speaker 2, you really
Thank you,
need
sir.
to improve. You really need to work more hard. You really need to research more. I didn't see that you were able to answer any questions. I was trying to push you forward to understand and hear what you read and what you prepared, but you seem to not have researched well. Only if you research well would you be able to make a good case. Adarsh, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I really liked your point on legislation. I think that is something that I was, that changed my mind that you did some research. But I think you should do a little more
that is what is expected in a national moot court. It's not a class moot, right?
Okay,
So all the
sure,
best on
sure.
that.
Thank you, sir.
Now coming to the respondent speaker number 1, I really liked you were very calm. You need to stop using the words a lot. You were very confused on that terms, and speaking with that tone gets a little annoying for the listeners. So you should try to stop that and do not drag your statement so much. And the basic issues that were given, like for instance LGBTQ, you do not know the full forms of those letters, which is the goes to the basic as to how much you researched. It speaks a lot about that. You had a very good answer on the legislator's competence. Do not use lordship in every sentence. Your lordship, this is happening. Your lordship, nahi, itne और lordship की जरूरत नहीं है. Huh? Then it becomes more lordship and no statement, right? You had a very good point on separation of powers. You have referred to good statements by authors. Personal laws also, I really like those points. Coming to speaker 2, you were very confident, very calm. You had good background, and the elite background statement of yours was, I think, very brilliant. I think you nailed that point of elite background as to how judges come from elite background and legislators come from, the real grassroots. That was nice. You also had a lot of ers, which needs to be curtailed. And do not say much obliged for everything, and do not seek permission to continue. I ask a question, you continue. I stop, that doesn't mean you should ask me again to continue. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Thank you, teams.
Thank you so much,
You all
sir.
can
Thank
leave
you,
the
sir.
room.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.